What up, everybody? I'm your host, JP, and this is my co-host, Josh.
Hey, everybody.
And welcome back to another episode of the FilmBros podcast. All right, Josh. So this one, I'm in love with this movie. I think this one's going to be short and sweet. It's going to be super fun to kind of talk about.
Yeah.
Excuse me. It's going to be super fun to kind of talk about, but at the same time, can't talk about too much because then we're going to give away everything. And that's the only thing with like these comedy movies. And, you know, I'm happy we're living in an era where we can discuss these types of movies and actually are seeing kind of like a renaissance of this
One
genre.
can hope anyway.
Yeah, of this genre, this parody genre, if you will. We're getting a few parodies making the return, basically. And, you know, this one basically being the first one out the gate to fill the waters. I mean, I like it, but we're gonna have to discuss how big of a net this movie is really gonna, you know, kind of garner.
If it really like move the needle. Anyway, we're reviewing The Naked Gun 2025.
Kill a man for revenge, there's no going back. A voice in your head sang over and over. That was awesome.
Who are you?
Drebin. Detective Frank Drebin. Thanks.
Police squad has always been the elite of the elite.
Hi, Daddy. It's me, Frank Jr. Love you.
Hey, Dad. Boy, do I miss you.
And you, Frank, are the best of the best.
Need a bathroom. I need this one immediately.
There's a line, man.
Police business. Oh, I'm gonna ruin another suit.
Over here, Lieutenant. I think someone murdered my brother.
Please, take a chair.
Thank you.
I'll find them. This is what I do. Says you served 20 years for man's laughter.
You mean manslaughter?
Must have been quite the joke.
They're going to...
Yes, The Naked Gun, directed by Akiva Schaffer. And if you know him, he's done a few movies, not too many. Obviously, he's done Pop Star with The Lonely Island. He's actually part of the Lonely Island group. He done Pop Star. He did Palm Springs. I think he was a producer on Palm Springs. He wound up directing Hot Rod with The Lonely Island. Chippendale. He did the Chippendale movie as well for Disney, which I thought that was actually pretty insane, but makes sense because The Lonely Island has been, you know, they had an involvement within that movie too. So he's been a producer on a few movies and, you know, director on his own handful, and I really think that he does a good job. I don't feel like he does crazy work, but I do love his like style of comedy, and partner that with Seth McFarland to kind of like help produce and help write and, you know, kind of get this movie right. I don't know. It just seemed like a great thunderstorm of comedians just to like come together and then like birth like I said, what I would literally call the renaissance of like the parody movies with this movie itself.
Hopefully it's that. Hopefully they make the comeback as they're supposed to. I know this one is coming out and we got Scary Movie or whatever paving the way and stuff. So hopefully they do make a comeback because it was very funny. So
okay. Obviously there's some conversations going on about this movie. Not actor wise, but obviously a big conversation starter when it comes to these movies is how much is making at the box office, right? And with this movie basically coming out right after Fantastic Four, and Fantastic Four not doing so well as at the time of recording right now as well. The Naked Gun had a $40 million budget, what it sounds like, and at the time of recording it's at a 56 million worldwide. So I mean, it broke even, but it's not really it's, you know, comparatively it's probably doing like what Superman's doing, like doing good for what it's supposed to do, but not doing as amazing as, you know, one would hope it to be. It broke even, but it's barely getting a little bit more. Apparently it's a slow burn. Like, good word of mouth is gonna hopefully kick up this movie, which, I mean, let's be honest. I think good word of mouth should be spread for this film, but I don't know. There's a lot of things that I think a lot of people would look at and be like, this is kind of stupid. And I, you know, sitting with CJ in the theater and seeing like how she was kind of interested but kind of disinterested in some of the stuff, it kind of gave me a good idea of like what a general audience member would kind of think about like some of this. And come to think about it too, in the theater we were laughing, me and you, but like there was maybe a few people that got some of these jokes, and there was like a good handful that didn't. I felt like our theater was kind of dead when it came to this. So I mean, I don't know,
you either have a sense of humor or you don't.
Yeah, basically, right?
That's what it felt like it came down to. And yeah, CJ was laughing quite a bit. It's just some of the like the well more thought out punchlines kind of flew by, and it made it hard to see that. But I understand. For someone who did get it, I laughed my ass off at every opportunity.
Okay. Yeah. For people that get it, I feel like for people that understand a good chunk of these jokes, which, I mean, there was a Pedro Pascal joke in there. There was all kinds of like, I would think like, what is it, like breaking the fourth wall type of jokes.
Yeah, they very much made it like you can enjoy this, and it's not like obscure comedy from the 80s either, where like Seth MacFarlane usually does, where you can like tell Family Guy does dated jokes like that. You can tell they really try to modernize it and make it silly so you can consume it.
Yeah, there were a few jokes that were kind of like back in the day jokes and stuff like that, but I mean I don't feel like they relied on it, and they didn't rely on nostalgia on this film.
Yeah,
and
no.
I think that's something that that I could personally applaud for right off rip. So I mean, money wise, it's not making its money back as great as it's supposed to be, but apparently it's supposed to be doing a little bit better in the next coming weeks with good word of mouth. But let's hopefully see if our review kind of helps that. I don't know. Moving on, so Liam Neeson is taking on the role of Frank Drebin Jr., which his father, the original Naked Gun, Leslie Nielsen, right? He was supposed, that's in the universe, it's supposed to be his son. And if you've seen what his son looks like by the end of the third movie or the fourth movie, I believe, you're just like, wow, this is canon. He actually had a kid. I kind of wanted to compare the Rotten Tomato scores, but first things first, Rotten Tomato scores were at an 89% certified fresh, popcorn meter 75%. I think it makes sense. Critics actually have a funny bone when it comes down to this movie. I enjoy it.
Which is amazing.
Because there was a lot of dumb humor and wet stick humor or whatever, but there was also a couple of like sophisticated jokes that I was like, like you got to actually understand to have gotten it. And I was like, okay, you would have never thought that they would have pulled it from that bag. It was very little, but I mean, nice at the same time. Right? The other Naked Gun movies basically did the same, 89% for the 2025 one. Let's see, the first Naked Gun film, where are you? Oh, the first Naked Gun was at an 88%, not right underneath the new one. Naked Gun 2 was at a 77, and Naked Gun 3 was at a 65. So kind of dropped down, but it was still pretty much
panned well.
Every single installment seems to have been well received. So maybe if you haven't seen them, I haven't seen them in a while. I only know like certain highlights because obviously they're just some things that don't leave your head.
Yeah.
You seen a lot of Gene Wilder movies?
No.
Okay, well you should probably stay away from
a
certain Gene Wilder movie. Anyways, but yes, there's certain things that don't leave your head, and I think I would personally recommend the old ones to you. But I mean, I know that you're one of those. This is old.
Well, no, I would want to check out the original. I've told CJ, I think they're on Peacock. I'd want to watch them to see if they are that funny.
You should.
Yeah. Because if comedy is the one thing where I feel like maybe it is timeless,
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that sticks.
And if you watch this one, then you gotta watch. If you watch the Naked Guns, you gotta watch Beverly Hills Cop.
Okay. Oh, with fucking Eddie Murphy?
Yeah.
Oh.
Otherwise, I'm gonna look at you a little funny. for obvious reasons.
Right.
Anyways,
Right.
yeah. So I mean, the cast of The Naked Gun, like I said, Liam Neeson, Pamela Anderson makes a return as well as Beth Davenport, which it's funny that even happened. Paul Walter Hauser plays Ed Hawkins Jr., which is nice to see that he actually plays a role in the movie that he said he was going to be in.
That's what's up.
Longer than at least 30 seconds. Danny Husson as Richard Kane. Kevin Durand, what a wonderful day.
Yeah.
As Sig Gustaf. Oh my God, he was so funny. Gustafsson. CCH Pounder Chief Davis. Lisa Koshy was Detective Barnes, which is crazy to see influencers. It's always crazy to see influencers in there. Busta Rhymes was in here. There was a few other cameos that I don't want to spoil because I think they're worth witnessing on your own. Hilarious little cameos.
Yeah.
But yeah, Josh, if you want to kind of run down the movie a little bit, and then we can go ahead and get into what we usually do.
After stopping a bank heist, we meet Frank Drebin Jr., who's attempting to solve the case when it's also revealed that Pamela Anderson's brother, something Davenport, I forget the brother's name, is killed. It's all a big scheme to cover up for the company that's trying to make. They're kind of like Elon Musk, Tesla, like make the world greener type electric car type deal scheming going on. He has to find out what the tie-in is for the brother's murder and the bank heist, and that's basically two birds with one stone. All while also trying to keep police squad intact. The movie follows him through comedy, through bits, and even falling in love with the sister, which is Pamela Anderson, not his sister, but Lisa Davenport, Beth Davenport, Pamela Anderson's character, and I think they're together in real life. Little side tangent, but yeah, it follows him and his journey through saving all that. There's a really good couple of funny gags, good jokes. It's actually a very funny movie, and it ends kind of the way you expect. Really nice.
Okay. That was actually really good. That was good. Very profound for a parody comedy movie. The best one you've had. This is a parody of our show too, I guess. I don't know. But yes, it sounds like there was a lot of shenanigans in this film, which there really was. There really was. Josh, characters, if you want to start us off.
Oh,
Liam Neeson, Pamela Anderson. You said they're actually together?
I thought that's what I thought. I know I thought
I'll
they
look
were
it up while you give us.
I know they were on the red carpet together, like holding hands and stuff and being like lovey-dovey. So I could be wrong.
Maybe he has anxiety. I don't know.
All right, man. All right.
I'm just saying. Maybe anxiety is a thing. And,
Shut up. Shut up. But I liked every character. I liked every actor here. I think everybody nailed the comedy bits in which they were given and everything. I told you that my favorite part was actually the bad guy, Danny Huston. He plays Richard Kane, the bad guy, basically. I liked how every time someone told him something crazy, he actually looked puzzled, like he didn't get it. So it made me enjoy him a lot better than everyone else. I think everybody delivered exactly what they were supposed to.
They are dating, which is funny.
Yeah. He's like 70 years old.
Yeah, I just saw all the people he's been with. These are all the people he's been with right here.
Oh my God. He's been in Hollywood a long time.
Liam Neeson's,
They be Liam.
He's taken.
Get off his plane. No, wait. That's not.
That's not the right one. I don't think. I'm tired of these motherfuckers. I do think. Okay. I gotta say this right because I liked him in the role for what it was, but Liam Neeson as the lead guy in this film, exactly what you said, and I kind of agree with your sentiment. Like some of his stuff really did land because some of it just felt like he was genuinely confused.
Yeah.
And to me, I was like, like I like that about him. It seemed to me the one, two, three. It seems to me the little bit that he did in what was it, Ted 2?
Yeah.
When he's like, "You're not gonna follow me if I leave this place with these tricks or whatever."
Yeah.
I feel like Seth MacFarlane saw that and was like, "Oh, he could do a whole movie of this," and where I would have probably said the same thing too. Actually, seeing it in reality, I don't feel like Liam Neeson should have done this. Now, do I think he can carry this franchise with more comedy? Sure. But the thing that Leslie Nielsen brought to the role, in my opinion, and this was something that I thought it was more of the film's fault. But as I thought about it, I felt like it was Liam Neeson. Leslie Nielsen gave, you don't have to see The Naked Gun to know who he is. He was in Scary Movie. Yeah. He was in the superhero movie. He was basically in all the parody movies as long as possible. And he was always funny. He always put his body into it. He was he wasn't afraid to just give you the comedy, and he never looked confused about it. He always delivered everything deliberately, like whatever he was acting and all that. And that's something that I feel like Liam Neeson just does not have. There's other actors that are, older people. Like, to be honest, I feel like Anthony Hopkins has more of that Liam Neeson energy than Liam Neeson does.
You think so?
And that's just only because, just some of their delivery. To be honest, I just watched the movie Locked, and we could probably do a review on that one another day. But Anthony Hopkins in that movie, it kind of shows you, if he was in one of these parody movies, he would be hilarious in it as well. So? And I feel like he can carry. There was somebody else that I thought about when I had left the theater too, but I feel like Liam Neeson as the pick, like I said, funny on paper, and at one point having him, obviously play the role, or at least a little bit of the role in one of the Ted movies, I was just like, I was expecting a little bit more.
I can understand, I guess, if you're comparing it to the other guy, because this is like a serious actor trying to just play it off like he's funny, and I'm pretty sure that's another thing they were trying to rely on, where let's just take the serious actor, have him say some funny stuff, and see if it works. And in my opinion, I think it worked.
It did work.
But I can see what you're saying, where as the old guy, because like you said, I haven't seen the old ones, but I do know Scary Movie and all that stuff, where for him, because he wasn't serious, he wasn't someone who was serious playing a jokester.
He played into the parody.
He just played into the parody, exactly. So I see what you're saying. I understand.
Yeah, they took and it has to do with the film aesthetic too in the background, and we'll probably talk about that a little bit more. That was one thing about the parody movies back then, that you felt that they were in a parody world. This one, I felt like you were in the real world, and you have this squad that was just pushed into that world, and is meant to basically take every situation that's real and just make a joke out of it. And I mean, it works, and I liked it for what it is. But the reason, in my opinion, the first trilogy happened because of the fact that it was in a parody world. It was able to live with these wacky stuff, and it didn't feel too out of place and all that stuff. There was that one scene with the crane where I was just like, that seemed like it just came out of nowhere. Because they're trying to give us that serious, real world comedy, trying to give you that, and then they're just able to Looney Tune some shit out of there, and I'm just like, I mean, it's funny, but it just felt like the movie didn't know what it wanted to be sometimes. Did it want to be serious? Did it want to be a parody? It didn't have a good mixture, in my opinion. It was like water and oil.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Because I can kind of see it. And it wasn't so much. I don't think I have a problem with Liam Neeson. I think it's more of a problem with maybe, like I said, the bad guy, Richard. What's his name?
Richard Kane.
Richard Kane.
Yeah, Danny Hudson.
Yeah, where, like I said, he was the one, in my opinion, that felt confused when Liam Neeson would say something a little like joke line or whatever. He'd always be like, "What? How do I respond to that?" You know what I mean? But so maybe that plays into it.
I like that because that was that part where it was like, that's the real world. He was in the real world,
he was actually playing like a James Bond villain.
Yeah, and he was just like, oh, whoa, like what? Like he's supposed to take things serious.
Yeah.
And I liked it. I think he did a good job with it. I think, like, just thinking about it, I just think Liam Neeson was the only one that was kind of like, just seemed confused about some of the stuff.
I think Ed Hawkins Jr. was underutilized for as much as he was in the movie. Like, he didn't get any real good gags, I think. I think Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson are the stars of the show for sure. But we don't meet her until basically after maybe 15 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
And that's supposed to be like his love interest.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's cool. But I for being
I
his
like
partner,
their introduction, though.
Yeah. For being his partner, you'd think he'd be in there a lot more with his own little bit of zingers. I understand he's still up and coming.
I feel like he did,
still,
though.
I don't know.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
Not enough?
No.
You're talking about Paul Walter Hauser, right?
Yeah.
I do think that he had a lot of screen time.
You think so?
He felt like that like, well, where Liam Neeson took everything serious, Paul Walter Hauser was kind of breathe out the tension and some, like, I felt like when Liam Neeson was doing it too serious and you couldn't really get a laugh out of it, that's when they used Paul Walter Hauser on the side to kind of like ease that drive into it, right? It's like Liam Neeson kind of started it off, and then the rest of it was up to Paul Walter Hauser. Like, how can you make this was in the trailer, but how can you make Liam Neeson just destroying a building, which is funny in itself, but destruction isn't always so funny, especially when it's crime. How are you going to make it more funnier? At Paul Walter Hauser. Same thing with there is the one scene when they introduced Pamela Anderson. And then right after they're gawking, and it felt like they were like, oh man, we're gonna, like, the writers were like, man, we're gonna get some shit for this, for not getting, some kind of comedic relief in there. I know it's supposed to be comedy, but people are gonna see it as misogynistic or whatever. And so to kind of play into it, to ease into it, they started with, who was it? Paul Walter Hauser, and then they panned over to everybody, and there was everybody.
Yeah. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. That's the thing. Like, he had some, but I just wish he could have. I think he could have been used a little bit more. Yeah. Especially if you see him in, like, he isn't particularly funny in Cobra Kai, but he has his funny moments, and I think using him in that.
Oh, he was in Cobra Kai.
Yeah, as a comedic thing. Yeah, and I think using him from having that a little bit of comedic background probably would have been a little bit more useful. I don't know.
Was he funny in Cobra Kai?
That's why he had his, like, funny moments. And granted, he was the punching bag because he was fat. So, I mean,
and that's what he kind of played in this one too.
Yeah.
Kind of like, I mean, he was the sidekick, but also obviously the sidekick is the one that.
Like, I think Liza Koshy barely shows up, and she had a funnier gag than him throughout the whole movie.
That gag was funny.
Yeah. And, like, that's the thing. Like, I feel like they underused them a little bit.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Mm-hmm. Okay, I see where you come from. I understand that.
Which, very unexpected to see Liza Koshy. I would never thought I would have seen her in a movie, especially since I don't know if she's still uploading, like, YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
Strange. Mm-hmm. Like, I would have, if this movie came out at the peak of that little era of, like, I guess when David Dobrik was still doing vlogs and stuff, I'd be like, oh shit. But now it's like, what the fuck? That's weird.
She's been trying to get her name off the ground. She's been in a couple of movies.
Yeah. I feel like you're right. It's just every time I see her, I'm just what the fuck?
I think she was like in.
She's alive.
She was in a Tyler Perry movie. She was in like Halloween, the Tyler Perry.
She was
movie.
in Rise of the Beast. What the fuck?
Oh, she played RC.
Oh, did she really?
She voiced RC.
Oh, that's fucking nuts. Yeah. See, I don't know.
Damn, they were digging in the bottom of the barrel with them, huh? Jeez. Wow,
that's fucked up.
You hired Liza Koshy? You couldn't even get a voice actor? You just... Now I gotta rewatch that movie to hear it. And I wish I was able to tell. She was in the Teen Kraken movie. She played Margot.
Yeah, see? I guess she's trying with
never
small
seen
roles.
that. Yeah, but I never seen any of the movies that she's in. And then the one that I did see, she was probably botched with autotune. You probably can't even tell. trying to think what other movie. Oh yeah, she was in the Boo Madea Halloween. I remember that because she was like the friend, and then Fousey was in that one too. Like what the fuck is up with Tyler Perry hiring these influencers? Like I said,
bro, he's washed.
Yeah, Tyler Perry fell off as soon as he started hiring influencers. That's what I will always say. But yeah, so I mean, she's cool. She was cool to see, but it was more like, you know,
Gave her the best gag in the movie.
Yeah, it was funny. Busta Rhymes was nice to see too. He was funny, even though he was giving away kind of.
10 years for man's
the
left.
the running gag with like the coffee was funny to me too.
Yeah, I thought that was a good joke too. The random scene with the snowman had me rolling.
And then so I mean,
Other than like what you have with Liam Neeson and stuff.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of enjoyed everybody. Like
I enjoyed everybody too.
I'd watch this movie again.
I liked Liam Neeson because there were certain parts where like he was funny, but then there were certain parts where it was just like it felt dragged on.
that joke could have landed a little better.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I know, like I said, that's why when I was watching it, I know like some of them were like the chili dog bit was funny. The chili dog bit was hilarious. But like, where he's just it's like, dude,
He's like, "There's a line." He's like, "Okay."
But like there is the ones where like he would like say the little one-liners or whatever, and it's like it didn't land. It didn't land like I was hoping it would, especially like Liam Neeson. There, like some stuff was funny because you're just like, man, Liam Neeson saying that is funny. But like when he was saying like, you know, that little there was one where he said a joke about some actress in the 80s, and I was just like,
it just didn't work.
yeah, he's not a Peter Griffin where he can deliver a punchline. He's more of a, I'm gonna take this line and deliver it serious, so make sure the line is funny.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's basically what it is. World building, I mean, I don't think we could touch up too much on it because you didn't watch the original. I mean, they kind of hinted at stuff in the original, but most of it was freshly new for the most part.
Yeah.
Like you had little hints and nods from like old stuff.
Like
but
potential for a sequel, no doubt. But other than that, it was pretty self-contained.
yeah, and I mean these kind of movies, in my opinion, parody movies could always just kind of keep going.
They can go on forever as long as the actor is willing to do them. Like that's the thing.
I mean, there should be like a running gag where like one dies at the end of the movie, and then they make another part, market him knowing that he died in the last movie, and they're like, "Well, you're giving us a spoiler," and it's like, who gives a shit? Like you should have known
that we're not here to take this stuff seriously.
Yeah, exactly. That would be
or just
funny.
show up halfway through the sequel and be like, "My death was greatly exaggerated."
Right. Oh, that would be so funny. They're like, oh, he's not dead. He's just being recasted. And then in the middle of the movie, he gets his job back. That'd be cool. That'd be funny.
He's like, "We signed all the contracts. We're good."
Yeah, we can't be giving our jokes away like this. Yeah, not for free. Camera work. You know, like I said, Akiva, he's functional. He does what he needs to do when it comes to like the cinematography and all that stuff. Camera work and everything was pretty much standard. Nothing really changed too much. I mean, there was little bits that were hilarious, but nothing really. I don't feel like he really sat with anything really.
Yeah, no. The camera plays some part in the jokes and like the delivery. Like the whole bank scene needs the camera to move and all that stuff. So we get the bare minimum for the movie, but in a like standard, it's fine. It's okay. It doesn't do anything crazy.
Yeah, pretty standard. I mean, if you've seen like the Chippendales movie,
yeah,
I think he did some pretty cool stuff with some scenes when it came to the camera work or whatever. But like, I think that's the only one he kind of went out the box, and so that leads me to believe that Disney kind of added some sauce.
Yeah, most likely, yeah.
I'm not taking away your hard work, Akiva. You know, stand up and
go do more music. God damn it!
When is the Lonely Island gonna break up?
Never.
When is the island gonna truly be lonely?
Never.
Oh, guess not. Plot wise, I mean, like I said, it's a parody movie. You can't really take the plot serious. Literally, in the beginning, it literally says plot device.
That joke had me laughing.
Yeah.
The hardest.
And nobody laughed.
Which is fucking whack.
Nobody laughed.
Like, it's such a good, like, little zinger for the movie in the beginning.
They should have just wrote MacGuffin.
Yeah.
That would have been hilarious, but nobody laughed.
But to have it be an acronym, plot device, like, people are, that's what I'm saying. Some of these jokes are just going to fly over people's heads. I thought that shit was hilarious.
So yeah, so plot, I mean, pretty simple but effective for the movie.
Yeah.
I think for this movie, the comedy is what's supposed to carry, and I think the comedy carried throughout the whole movie. To be honest, yeah, that's it. I mean, like I said, it's a parody movie, man. There's not really much to it. It's either you like comedy or you don't like comedy.
Yeah.
Either you can get with not only one-liners and something that can, actually be said to another person and it be funny, and also go and turn your brain off and, in a scene see a whole crane or, people just fighting or I think the scene that got me, that I was just like, why would they even write this, but it still made me giggle a little bit when she was like, I'm gonna sing for you now, and she does jazz, and she's like,
she just starts fucking scatting,
and I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm just like, this is jazz. So I mean, yeah.
I like the end of the movie gag. I'm not gonna give it away.
Yeah,
but with that actor,
that was funny.
That one had me.
That came out of nowhere. That was funny. With that being said, Josh, I mean, if you want to kind of give us your little piece, and then give us your rating, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst, 5 being the middle.
I enjoyed this movie. I thought it was great. I laughed at every bit. I do have one simple contingent where it's like, how many times can you watch it before it stops being funny? And I mean, I was trying to think, and I mean, I'm sure if you watch this in sporadically, you'll enjoy it each time. But if you're constantly running it dry like anything else, it will get stale. But for the most part, I can see myself coming back every once in a while and laughing and, forgetting the jokes, laughing again. Mm-hmm. So I think it does pretty good at that too, where it'll always just have you laughing throughout the whole movie, no matter how many times you do watch it, because there's a good amount of gags in it. And maybe there's some stuff you don't pick up the first time or the second time or the third time, whatever. I enjoyed it a lot. I got to give it 8 out of 10. I thought it was cool.
I think any parody movie, you got to give it time to breathe. I don't think you can ever watch them every year. You can't have a every year parody movie. Unless you're going to go into it knowing that you're going to copy every single word and just, you know what I mean? That's where, you could go in and do something like that. But in my opinion, these kinds of movies, you have to watch it one time. Maybe after your first viewing, you could probably watch it a couple months later and still get a laugh out of it. But then after that, you got to give it a year or two. Give it a year or two. Let your mind fill up with other movies, other comedy, whatever. And then you could probably be like, oh, no, I want to pop this in. Boom, pop it in. And then, it's funny again. But you can't put it in knowing that you remember all the jokes, because then you're just going to. I think this one I got to rewatch it again because there was little nuggets that I probably missed.
I was too busy laughing at some of the previous shit to catch the new shit. So that's what I'm saying.
So I will be watching it again when it comes out on streaming. I do think it was great. Liam Neeson is just I think that's just the one spot where I'm like, oh, can he do more? Will it be possible for him to keep up this bit, or will he have to? In they kind of poked fun at it in the beginning, kind of like what Iron Man did, where it's like, oh, I'm here now, get over it.
Yeah.
Same thing in this, in a different way. They were kind of like, well, I'm him, but I want to be him, but different, and have my own spin on it or whatever. Yeah. And I admire that. I get that, but I think with parody movies, you gotta know that you're in a parody movie. You can't I think that's why A Haunted House worked. I think that's why the scary movies worked. I think that's why they're bringing back Marlon Wayans, because he was able to figure out how to
do all that,
mix it in pretty good, and that's where we're gonna get Scary Movie 6. I think taking this squad, and I think this is why kind of Reno 911 kind of took off for a little bit, that. I don't know, because some stuff works where it's take the parody people and stick them in the real world.
Yeah.
And see how people react to them, because they're just so loony or whatever.
It's like when Jackass does public pranks.
Yeah. So will this one be? I think that for the first time it's great, but I think the second one should dip into the parody aspect a little bit more. And then if you want to kind of give us that seriousness, then at least we know we're in this parody world, and that seriousness can, even though there's a little bit of tension or whatever, we know it's going to subside because it is in the comedy world. At the end of the day, I do think that this film is pretty masterful in comedy. I don't think Seth MacFarlane misses. I don't think Akiva Schaffer misses. I think the comedy is an acquired taste, as I was able to see in the theaters, and not only in the theaters but also with CJ. Some things, only because, you know, I understand not everybody's gonna get everything, but I think some of the comedy needs to, especially in a movie that you're trying to get as much people to come and put their eyeballs on it, like your comedy needs to be digestible to the point where everybody should be able to laugh in the theater, and not just subsections, unfortunately, which I do think that's happened in this. When we were watching the movie, at the end of the day, I do think it's like a 7.5. 7.5. It was funny. I could come back to it. It's worth a rewatch when streaming. Maybe it'll help bump up if I'm able to hear the whole thing, because I know, like, with scary movies, there were times where I would just like crack up and then I would come back and watch it a couple years later and be like, I didn't even see that the first time or whatever. And, you know, it gets better. But I do think Liam Neeson's getting older. So if we're going to pump out a couple more of these and get a trilogy out, got to be sooner than later for sure. For sure. With that being said, though, let us know what you guys think. Check out the movie. It's in theaters right now. If not, I mean, I don't know. Would you encourage people to wait for streaming?
No, go see it in theaters. It is funny. It is pretty funny.
If not, if you can't, because of hard times, these are the hard times.
All right, man.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead and wait for streaming, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, $11.99 comes with your subscription.
Yeah. $11.99 a month versus one ticket, which is the same amount for one-time viewing. Who knows? We're not here to talk about that.
But then
right
you got to sell your child for like a bucket of popcorn.
Just sneak in your food at this point. Anyway, listen to us wherever you get your podcast.
Yeah. With that being said, though, Josh, let them know where they could. Oh, yeah. Did you do all that?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead and let them know where they can talk to us and do all that good stuff.
Twitter, TikTok, Instagram at FilmBros Podcast. Post our episodes are up. You can hit us up there for news and movies you want us to cover. Buzzsprout, link to the social I just gave you. It's like a Patreon. Subscribe, help the show go. Really appreciate it. Again, listen to us wherever you get your podcast. Be part of the conversation. Twitch at FilmBros Podcast. And when it's all said and done, subscribe to our YouTube at FilmBros Podcast.
With that being said, we'll talk to you guys on the next one.
Talk to you guys later.